Alright, so we do actually know quite a few games that should be there at least. I figure we would just go through a few of them and maybe just share a few thoughts.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Let's just go down the list.
Alright, so Hyrule Warriors. I don't think you're entirely sold on that, right?
Not because I think it'll be bad, just because I don't think it's my kind of game. Like, it's not in my camp, but if you look at it, it looks like a well put together kind of hack and slash action game, and at some points I'll be in the mood for that, and I'll pick it up, but so far it's just like, okay, I think I know what kind of game it is, and I know when I'm going to be in the mood for that, and it's not right now, right?
Yeah. Visually it looks nice, but the gameplay
it looks excellent, yeah.
Gameplay I'm not sold on. Just because it's not... The series itself hasn't really been known for its gameplay.
No, it's the kind of game that you're, I think, supposed to just kind of zone out while you play and just sort of enjoy the prettiness of it and just the general nice feeling of hacking through a bunch of people. It's not necessarily about being super engaged from my experience with Dynasty Warriors. It's just kind of about having a little bit of fun. Like, I'm sure there's comparable games out there. Like Pokemon Rumble, I mean, it's probably better than that, right? But it's in that same kind of vein where you're just supposed to relax and just be mindlessly hitting things for 20 minutes or whatever. So whether they go beyond that because they're working with Nintendo, we don't know.
And if they bring over one of those special editions that they announced for Japan, I'm probably going to get it. I won't be able to resist.
Yeah. What's in that?
Oh man, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'm
is there like a big thing in it, like a cool figurine or like some major inclusion?
I can look it up now if you want.
Nah, don't worry about it. I'm not getting it either way, so whatever. I'm sure it'll be nice. Well, you got the Wind Waker HD thing, right?
Yep.
And that's a cool statue. That Ganondorf statue is pretty sweet. So.
Oh, it was only like $10 more, I think.
Really?
It was something like that.
Why didn't I get that?
I don't know.
That's how it is. So yeah, Hyrule Warriors, whatever. I'm not excited for it, nor I don't despise it. And I think, are you in the same boat, or are you kind of like, no?
I'm just skeptical until I hear more about the actual gameplay.
Fair enough. Yeah, sounds good.
Alright, how about Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I love those games, but I don't really... I think I'm not just in the mood for that right now, and playing X and Y, I really didn't enjoy them, so...
Right. I mean,
yeah,
I liked X and Y, so...
I thought they were just too easy. I don't know. I don't think I ever lost a battle in that whole game.
I do admit they were
5
easy.
gym leaders. And that's the thing I liked about Pokemon, is you had to like lose and be like crap, and then have to do all this boring work, and then you could win and be like, yeah, I did it, I'm a Pokemon master or whatever. So we'll see how these stack up in that regard. If they're a little bit more traditional, then I'd be interested. If they were more like a kind of a old school Pokemon game, I would be into it. So we'll see. I don't hate it, but I'm just kind of probably not interested as of now. But you sound like you're into it.
Yeah, I mean, X and Y, I don't know why entirely, but it brought me back into the series. It may have been because of the 3D visuals, I don't know. It's
a beautiful game. The whole battle system is easily the best it's ever been, right?
Yep,
like
that's
just
true.
The way it works is so intricate and so well put together. Literally, it's the best Pokemon game, except for me, the only problem is it was too easy. If it was just harder, I would love that game. Because everything about it's really, really excellently it's really well put together, right? So I totally understand why people like it.
Yeah, and I never played the original game, so...
Okay, all right, yeah.
What was it, Game Boy Advance, right?
The Ruby Sapphire?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were Game Boy Advance. And I played the heck out of Sapphire, and I think they're considered the worst in the series, but I liked it. I thought it was a ton of fun. So if it's the worst in the series, it's not by a huge margin.
Okay. Any thoughts about X from Monolith Soft?
Well, I haven't played Xenoblade yet. I own it. I haven't played it, but gosh, does Xenoblade look beautiful? And X, I think, looks like a lot of fun. But and this is a subjective opinion, so I don't want anyone to kill me over it, because we got some flack for my opinion about Rainbow Road in the Mario Kart video. And I think the game looks a little bit ugly. It's a little dark for my taste, like kind of gray. And we haven't seen that much about it, but compared to Xenoblade, I think it looks a little bit uglier, but looks still like a ton of fun. And I think it'll make up for the the art style in just how huge the world looks and just how well put together and intricately crafted and just fun it looks like to walk around and beat crap up, you know? So, I don't know enough about it, really.
I don't think any of us do, but having played Xenoblade, and I actually beat that game, this is right now my most anticipated Wii U game.
I'm sure after I play Xenoblade, I'll be like, oh, now I get it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'll be totally on board with it. Because it looks like the gameplay's the same as Xenoblade, and I don't know what that means, but a lot of people like Xenoblade's gameplay, so...
Yeah, right. Xenoblade was really excellent. It was just like a huge open world. It looked nice visually, even for a Wii game. You went on an epic adventure.
It looks like a ton of fun, and I really want to play Xenoblade, and I'm sure after I play it, I will be less critical of X, because right now, I don't know anything about it, right? I have no reason to be excited for it, because I don't know how the game works yet. So once I do, I expect to be quite excited, and I'm definitely going to buy it, regardless of my minor gripes about art style, you know?
Yep. Alright, so I think you are a little bit more interested in this one than me, but how about Bayonetta 2?
Oh, I'm excited for this. I just love games in this kind of over-the-top, crazy, doesn't make sense, but pretends to make sense sort of style. I'm a huge fan, and the music in the latest trailer for Bayonetta 2 just pushed me over the top. I think it looks like so much fun. I'm super into these sorts of games, so yeah, I'm really excited. And when playing it at E3 last year, even though that was, you know, a year ago now, it was a ton of fun to play, and I didn't think, you know, watching people play these kinds of games like Bayonetta, it just kind of looks confusing and stupid and boring, but once you get your hands on it, it's really easy to follow, and it feels really good to play, so I'm super looking forward to this, and I really like Wonderful 101. I mean, it was not perfect, but I liked it, so I expect good things from Platinum in this Bayonetta 2. So, but you don't sound like you're that excited for it?
Only because I don't know too much about it. You know, I was going to get the first one on PS3, but I'm kind of holding out in hopes that they're going to bring the first one also to the Wii U.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did, actually. I think
there's been like little hints, yeah, like little hints here and there.
Yeah.
Nothing really concrete, though. I don't know.
Well, and I haven't played the first one. I just know that aesthetically, I really like the style, and I really liked the 10 minutes I got to play of it, right? So that plus knowing what they did with Wonderful 101 makes me pretty excited for it. Mostly for the aesthetics, if we're being honest.
All right, and another game that I think a lot of people are looking forward to, the new Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, what can you say about it that hasn't been said, you know? It just looks really good. And what would you want to see of it in the E3 that's coming up next week?
Well, it feels like they've revealed like pretty much all of the game, haven't they?
Yeah, they totally have, and I wish they wouldn't, honestly. I wish they'd keep some, like, it would be so cool if there was, like, 2 or 3 characters that they just didn't tell us existed. Just nobody got to know that they were in the game until they were unlocked. But I doubt that that's going to happen. I think they're going to pull a Mario Kart 8 and just dump everything on us, you know?
Well, we should be getting new character reveals next week, right?
Oh, I would assume, yeah, at least, I'd guess for at least 2 of them. I don't know who you're going to see, but, if I had to pick, I would like Bayonetta to be in there. That'd be cool. Wonder Red from Wonderful 101 is another one I want. And I know a lot of people want, I don't know his name, but the guy from Xenoblade, it's like Shulk, yeah.
Yep.
A lot of
people
want Shulk. Yeah, he seems like he'd be good for it. So who else would fit? I guess anyone would fit now that we know that like the Animal Crossing guy and the Wii Fit trainer fits in Smash Brothers. So
true.
It's hard to imagine anyone that wouldn't at this point. But anyone, any wishes in particular?
Captain Falcon.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be there. He's been in all of them. He'll make a return. I have no doubts that he will be in it. Same with Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff will be there.
That's pretty much the only character I want right now.
Captain Falcon?
Yeah.
Do you play as him mostly?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know how that happened.
That would be a huge bummer if he wasn't. The one character you play as all the time gets removed. So yeah, I want some of the Platinum guys in there. I think that'd be cool. And I don't know who else I'd pick for it. There isn't a whole lot. Is there anyone from Brawl that hasn't been revealed yet, aside from like Snake? Who isn't being brought back? Because we got Ike and why don't we have Chrom? All right, why don't we have Chrom? Everyone complains about this, and I'm gonna do it too. Chrom from the new Fire Emblem, easily the most popular Fire Emblem ever, right? Sold amazingly well. Instead, they put Ike in, who's from a game that is a pile of trash. It's not a pile of trash. It's just not as good as the new one, and not as popular as the new one. So I don't know how Ike made it in, and we haven't heard about Chrom yet. That's too bad. Chrom is a cool guy, or someone from the new Fire Emblem, I think, needs to make an appearance in order to represent the, arguably the best entry in the series so far. That would be good. That's my other wish.
I feel like we won't hear about another Fire Emblem character on Tuesday, but maybe before the game comes out.
Yeah, it seems like it would make a lot of sense to have another one. One from Awakening.
Yep. So there are 2 more games that may be there. The first one is Yarn Yoshi, which we haven't heard about in over a year.
Yeah, I don't know if... Either it's going to go the route of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, and it's going to stay on their release list for 8 years or whatever until it comes out, or it'll come back, and I don't know. It looks like it'd be fun. Kirby's Epic Yarn was a pleasant game.
Yep,
and
I like that.
Who's making it? Is Goodfeel making it? Do we know?
Yeah, Goodfeel.
Okay, well they've done good games in the past, right? So it will be a good game if it comes out ever. So it's hard to say with certainty, if it's going to be at the show or not, just because we've literally heard nothing about it since that, and it was on the recent release list, so we know it exists, but we have no idea when.
Yep, that was on the list, and I think so was Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire Emblem.
Yep, and that is even harder to talk about because we know not only have we not heard about that game in a while, we didn't even get to see that game when we first, had it revealed. So,
yeah, it was a really strange announcement.
No idea what it's about, no idea how it's going to work, no idea when it's coming out. It's just, they gave us a name, and that was pretty much it, so...
Yep.
What can you say about it, right?
Not too much, right?
No, but I would expect to see one of these 2, on Tuesday. Which one? I have no idea, but I would expect at least one of them.
Yep. So, moving on, there is a mystery session on Wednesday for a new 3DS title, and Nintendo isn't saying much about it.
Do you have any possible predictions, other than 2D Metroid, which is the only one I've heard?
Yeah, I know. I don't really know, because they're giving such little information.
Well, there aren't very many 3DS games at the show this year, as far as we know. Like, it's a pretty Wii U focused event from Nintendo, and even from third parties, there aren't really any Wii U or 3DS games coming. So, what this could be, I have no clue, because a similar thing kind of happened with Kid Icarus Uprising, and I don't think anyone would have predicted Kid Icarus Uprising before we knew what it was. Yeah,
that was a total surprise.
So. The only reason people are predicting Metroid is because it's the only thing we can think of that is completely predictable. Everything else that they could do and probably will do is going to be like Kid Icarus Uprising, where it's going to get revealed and we're going to be like, what? So yeah, what could it be? F-Zero, Star Fox, Metroid, something brand new. Do we know who's going to be at the event?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, there's just no way. There's just no way to know. There's seriously no way. Would you be mad if it was a 2D Metroid?
No, I would be pretty happy with that, actually.
Me too. I have not played any 2D Metroids all the way through, believe it or not. And so, but I know that they're excellent, so I'm looking forward to possibly getting another one. We'll see. It's been a while.
It has to be pretty big, though, right? Because I think it's going to be something around an hour and a half long session.
Yeah, and they normally wouldn't dedicate like a whole hour and a half long session, or even just one of they usually do 2 roundtables, and they normally dedicate them to a game we know about and then something new. Like last year there was a Pokemon X and Y roundtable, and I don't know what game could be revealed that would take up this important a slot if it wasn't part of their already known franchises, right?
Maybe it could be part of the NFP plans.
Oh crap, you're right. Oh no, I guess it could be. Oh well, maybe it'll be that.
Because that's going to be a big focus, and we do know that the technology will eventually work with 3DS.
Yeah, they're going to have a little dongle that you can plug in. So
that's coming out next year.
Yeah, that actually seems more likely to me now than something like Metroid. Metroid is always the one that people predict, and it's always a bit of a pipe dream, I think. New 2D Metroid's coming to E3, and then it never does. So, well, I bet it's something that people will initially be disappointed with, and eventually come around on.
Yep. So I think we should close this out by talking about one game we'd really like to see the most.
One game. Oh man. One game that we want to see from the... I mean, my go-to is always Star Fox, because I'm a huge Star Fox fan. But how many years in a row have we said that to ourselves before E3 and had it not happen, right? The closest we've gotten is Star Fox 64 3D, which even though it was a remake, managed to not be that great, managed to just be kind of okay. So my go-to is Star Fox. If I was the controller of Nintendo and I could make it happen, we would get a new Star Fox kind of game, or just something in that genre, like Sin and Punishment 2. We got that, right? And that was a really good game, and I would like that kind of game, but I would like it to be Star Fox, because I missed that universe, because it was such a cool universe. It was really well put together for the first couple of games, so I vote for Star Fox. What do you vote for?
Man, it's pretty tough to say, but I would take either a 2D or 3D Metroid.
Okay.
Or something like a new Mario Galaxy.
I wouldn't, we talked about this last video. I was going to say last week, but it wasn't even a week ago now. Yeah. The last video we made, when I said you play through Mario Kart and you look at the worlds and they're like really cool, cooler than most of what we've seen in 3D Marios as of late. And if we could just get a 3D Mario game that went to like all the cool places that we have in Mario Kart 8, I would be so happy. Because that Galaxy, for as amazing as it was, well, no, I guess it was kind of varied, I suppose. Everything kind of shared the same kind of style to it, and they were all pretty sectioned off little areas. Like the beach levels were like these big bowls of water floating in space and stuff like that. I would like a new... I don't want to say open world, but an explorative 3D Mario game.
So kind of like Super Mario 64.
A 64, but better. 64 is a little bit on the empty side sometimes, but something like that, where it doesn't necessarily follow a strict theme, like, oh, space, or oh, it's a beach, right? And those are great. They're fine, and they're amazing games. But I'd like something that doesn't have that kind of strict theme. Something like Mario Kart 8, which goes all over the place without having a problem with consistency or anything like that.
Yeah. And
I'd like something like that.
And I feel like some ports or remakes would be kind of interesting to see too.
Oh,
because
yeah, we should go down a list of these. Just talk about, like, what ports do you want? Give me some remakes.
Let's see. Super Mario Sunshine.
Sunshine. I pick 64. I like 64 a little better, but either one would be great. How about a remake of Star Fox Assault where they take all the bad stuff out of it and just make it good?
I never actually played that game.
It's like 50% really good and like 50% pretty bad. But it's a fun game. I liked it. So I think wishful thinking, Banjo-Kazooie, something Banjo-Kazooie related. People really like that sort of stuff, and I wouldn't mind that.
Doesn't Microsoft own that?
Technically, but Nintendo's got a lot of money, so I'm sure they could work something out if they wanted to. How about a remake of like the original Zelda, like one of the old games remade with like a really nice art style, probably still top down, maybe like hand drawn or just really high quality sprites put into on like the Wii U or even the 3DS, right? Just really, really a beautiful remake of like Zelda 1, Zelda 2. Can't really do a Link to the Past because they kind of already did, sort of. But I wouldn't mind a remake of like a Zelda 1 kind of thing. That would be okay with me.
You know, at this point, I would even take a Xenoblade port for Wii U or 3DS.
Totally. I own Xenoblade, right? I paid $80 for a copy of Xenoblade. I would buy an HD upscale. Just up, all you have to do is up-res it. Nothing else. I would buy that for $60. No problem.
I would buy it again on Wii U and 3DS.
Totally. I completely would. I would maybe not buy it on 3DS because I'd want to play it on a TV because it's like a big adventure. But I would totally buy an HD up port of Xenoblade Chronicles. That is right up my alley. So, what about what was the other thing? People talk a lot about. Oh no, I lost it. Oh, people talk a lot about GameCube Virtual Console. Is that going to happen?
I hope so.
Do you think it will happen? Actually, everyone hopes so. Everyone wants it. Do you think it's actually going to happen?
Oh, man, it's tough because, they announced that Smash Brothers GameCube controller and people started speculating that's going to happen, but, I mean, they just put out, like, the first DS Virtual Console game in Japan.
How long did it take them to do that, right? Like, the DS...
Although it wasn't that long, right? They only announced it a few months ago. It was the Game Boy Advance Virtual Console that took like a year.
Yeah, but if you consider how long they said they were working on the DS Virtual Console before they finally got it to technically function, it makes it hard to believe that they could easily get GameCube games, which are far more intensive than DS games, to run on the Wii U. Especially when, if you consider things like Dolphin, which are emulating them on PCs, you need a really strong PC to push like a Wii or a GameCube game through, and those have a ton of like drivers you have to download and work with. So I would be really skeptical of the idea that they could get GameCube. But I suppose if you think about it, the Wii U is built on the same architecture as the GameCube, so maybe that would help. I don't know. And if the Wii U could run GameCube games and the Wii U can run a Wii mode, maybe there's some kind of architectural usefulness to that for them. So maybe it would happen. I don't think so, though. If I had to vote, I would say no.
Yeah, I would probably say no. Ultimately, I just really want it to happen like everyone else.
Oh, man. All of us do. I mean, where are all of our NES and SNES games, though? Like, we've got those, like a few of them, but the status of Virtual Console is pretty abysmal right now on the Wii U.
Yeah, it is seriously frustrating.
It's horrible, because I would buy so many games, and I know that they wouldn't make that much money overall. I know it would be more of a fan service thing for them, but I would just love it if I had access to 90% of the NES and SNES libraries on my Wii U. That would just be so great.
And we're still waiting on the N64 Virtual Console for Wii U.
I bet that's dead. I bet that's not going to happen ever. I think that's
done. Sad.
I think it is, because part of it is that I bet technically it's kind of complicated to do, but then the other thing is those games don't hold up as well as Game Boy Advance games or SNES games or even NES games a lot of the time. So they might just be avoiding it because there's sort of a public image thing where they don't want someone to be playing like Cruisin' USA on their Wii U and have someone like walk by and see like, oh, this piece of trash, look at how ugly it looks, stuff like that. And I think that's part of the reason why they avoided releasing a lot of the really, like the games on N64 that didn't run very well on the Wii Virtual Console. I don't know where I heard that, but that someone had said that at one point, had brought that up, that they had heard that was part of the reason why the N64 Virtual Console on Wii was so vague. And it's probably just speculation, but I could see that sort of thing. Nintendo's a very image-conscious company, right? So I could see that playing a part in addition to the technical problems it would cause.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe they will surprise us on Tuesday and they will announce that GameCube is coming and
N64 and every DS game is being released at the same time, and it's going to be a renaissance, and we're even going to have Wii Virtual Console so you can buy Wii games and everything, and it will all be great. And we like to be wishful, but we'll see. I'm excited, though. I'm sure there's going to be a lot worth paying attention to as the months roll on. Really, the big thing for me is, what is the holiday game this year? Aside, I don't want it to be Smash Brothers. I mean, I want it to be Smash Brothers, but I want something else that's not Smash Brothers, because I'm convinced Smash Brothers is coming out next year. So what's the holiday game this year? I need to know. Is it Zelda? Is it Metroid? What is it?
I don't think it's Zelda.
You don't think so?
No. Because they do have Hyrule Warriors this year, and just knowing Nintendo, they're going to push it back to next year.
Yeah, you're totally right, actually. That's definitely true. Zelda's a next year holiday title. I'm pretty sure Smash Brothers is next year in like March, just like Brawl was. But there's got to be a holiday title this year, like a new one that we haven't heard about, in order to kind of drum up some more of that instant, like, I need a Wii U this year kind of hype. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
That's the big thing I want to know. Also 3DS. What the heck's going on with that?
Yeah.
Where's all my 3DS games?
Yeah, like
it's fine for now, but what's coming out later?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. They don't have too much announced for it right now.
Tomodachi Life comes out tonight, and I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Like, can you name... I guess the Pokemon remakes.
Yep. That's...
Okay. What else? Is there anything that's, like, really notable?
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade's coming to the 3DS? Yeah, something like that. I don't know. So we'll see. Do you think X is coming out this year?
I think so. I mean, they have mentioned it, like, every time they talked about it, that it's coming this year, so.
I'm still skeptical of that one, too. Maybe that'll be the holiday game, though. We'll see.
I'll be very upset if it doesn't come out this year.
Nintendo has not been good historically about not delaying these kinds of games, so we'll see. It wouldn't bother me too much because I trust Nintendo to give me enough content that I'm satisfied. But stuff like X and Smash Brothers, they tend to really like to take their time and polish up, so.
Yeah, although Xenoblade came out, like, I don't even know how long ago now. It's
2012,
been years.
Yeah.
Well, before that, actually.
Initially it came out in, like, 2010, didn't it, in Japan?
Something like that.
Or maybe early 2011, but it was a long time. I mean, it was like 4 years ago at this point. So they've been working for a while, and I don't think Monolith has been doing anything else since that.
I think they have another team that's been working on helping Nintendo out with some projects, but
that's true. Yeah, technical stuff. My fingers are crossed for Disaster Day of Crisis HD. I need that because that never came out in America, and I need my Disaster Day of Crisis fix.
I'd buy it.
It's funny to think that the team that made that allegedly very terrible game made Xenoblade, right after it. So it's funny.
I guess we'll see what happens on Tuesday, right?
Pretty much. We'll just have to wait.
I mean, there's like a ton of stuff to watch. Starting on Tuesday
all day
at 12.
Streams. All day streams.
And then they're going to be streaming.
Be
and then the 2 sessions that they're going to hold. One for Smash Brothers and another one for the 3DS game, so.
It's we're going to have a lot to look forward to. And I'm pretty excited just to be able to check in on those kinds of streams and see the digital event and then theoretically watch the Smash Brothers tournament and go play Smash Brothers I think there's a Best Buy near me that's doing it, so
that's good.
There's a lot to that we know that's coming that's going to make it a worthwhile E3 in addition to whatever we don't know about. So that's good.
And I'll be covering it all and crying.
Oh yeah, you'll just be sitting at your computer like wiping blood that's dripping from your eyes. Just oh god. It'll be a fun day for you, so.
It's worth it, though, because it only happens once a year, and we get to see new games.
A whole crap ton. And that means you're more intimately familiar with all this news than anybody, so that's kind of a plus, sort of.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's a benefit, so.
And I guess we'll talk about some of the games that we see on Tuesday once that's happened.
Totally, yeah, we definitely will. At some point during that week, we'll have an impressions of those types of things.
Alright, guys, we will see you later, and we will be back soon after Nintendo's digital event to talk about what they showed.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.